Hey friends! I'm so excited to be on live for the first time. I know that Katie has been live the past couple of weeks, and so it is my turn to jump in. So I know there are going to be some friends joining us here, so we'll give it a second. I am coming at you live from one of our many bookshelves in our house, my little girl's room. Hey friends, thanks for joining. So I'm super excited to be doing this. Katie and I have been asked many times about book recommendations, and we thought that this would be a really fun way to share some of the books that we're loving. And so before I jump in, just wanted to introduce myself for those of you who are new with us, who don't know me. I'm Krista. I'm one half of the Literacy Ladies, and Katie is my other half, and she is at her house with her kiddos tuning in too. So I'm going to be the one popping on every Tuesday about 4:30. It took me a few extra minutes today to figure out all the technical glitches, but hopefully closer to 4:30 every week. And we just thought it'd be a really fun way to share some of the books that we're loving, so that those of you who are doing curbside library orders, or those of you who like to fill up your Amazon cart for special occasions to have those books ready, you can be building your lists. So yeah, that's why we're doing this live on Tuesdays. And I thought I would ask you, for whoever is watching, I really was trying to think of a super catchy, fun name for our Tuesday live segment. So I thought it would be fun to ask if anybody has any ideas we could use. I thought we would do something like books the literacy ladies are loving, or library list building books by the literacy ladies, something like that. I of course love alliteration, so whoever has any ideas for me, please let me know. And I'm going to make sure that I can see, so that if somebody has a question, then I can answer in the comments. I want to make sure that I can see. So awesome. Okay, yep, Katie's in the comments. She sees some good reads behind me, so hopefully you can see those too. We're going to go ahead and jump right in because I want to make this a really quick live on Tuesday so that you can be in and out. I know this time could be a tricky time with your families getting ready for dinner or coming home from work and doing all of the things that moms have to do. So I'm going to jump in with this book, Mama Built a Little Nest. Have you read this book? It is adorable. This is by Jennifer Ward, and I love, this is actually on, I think it's on our April monthly literacy guide. So if you have that guide and you're following along, you might have this one in your library basket. But it goes through different types of birds, and so it gives like a really cute, catchy, rhyming phrase over here, kind of to talk about where this bird builds their nest. And then on the other page, if you can see, there's like extra text that gets into a little bit more in depth about that bird. And so each page is a different bird and a different type of nest that they build. And I think it is so fun. It's a really great book to differentiate. If you have kids who are younger, you would maybe just read the rhyming part of the book. And then if you have older kids, you can read the additional information about that bird. But my kids are really enjoying this one. This is a new one that we haven't tried before. And they, of course, love the catchy rhymes too. So this is a great one. Mama Built a Little Nest. The next one, number 2, that we are loving this week. And do you find the books that you're loving during the week get read like a bazillion times like they do at my house? So this is a current favorite. This has been a favorite in my house for a long time, and it comes and it goes. But if you have not read this book, please put this on your library book list or your Amazon cart. Little Pea. And it is a story from the perspective, I gotta get used to this camera. It's from the perspective of the pea. And so what's really cute about this book is it talks about how, it talks about his life and how he goes to school and how he has pea pals, and it's super adorable. But what I love is the reverse of he has to eat his dinner and he has to eat candy for dinner, and he does not like candy. And the kids think it is hilarious. And so mom and dad, or Papa P and Mama P, tell him you have to eat 5 pieces of candy, and he's whining and he doesn't want to eat the candy. So then once he finishes his dinner, he gets to have dessert. And I'm going to leave you hanging with what his dessert is. But my kids think it's hilarious because it's a vegetable that they don't necessarily love all the time. So check this out. This is also a series of books that she writes, Amy Krauss Rosenthal. She also writes like Little Hoot and Little Oink. And so if your kids like this book, they will certainly love those books as well. So Little P is number 2 on my list this week. Number 3, the Frog and Toad books. Again, these have been favorites in our house for a long time, and just recently they've come back out, and my kids, who are 3 and 5, my littlest one maybe doesn't quite listen to all of our stories all the time, but Frog and Toad books are adorable, and they're super fun and short before bedtime. So I always like to have this book available for when I need like a real quick bedtime story, because we are late on getting to bed. And my kids are just old enough, 3 and 5, to kind of understand some of the funny things that happen in these stories. So if you haven't read Frog and Toad, these are super fun ones too. Number 4 on the list is Move Over Rover. I think this one might be on our monthly literacy guides, if you have those too. This is a really super fun book. It is a rhyming book, and it's a super predictable book. So the kids really like to guess. They can see which animal is coming into Dog's doghouse. I gotta figure out this camera better. And so it starts thundering and lightning, and all the animals need a safe, warm place to hide from the rain. And so you will notice that there is a very smelly animal in the doghouse initially that the kids will notice in the pictures. It's a really good book for reading the pictures and teaching them that they can read the pictures even if they can't read the words. And so they all end up getting really squished in the doghouse, and in the end they realize what animal is in there and quickly exit. So it is a really fun book to add to your list this week. And the last book is Library Lion. I'm going to just check the comments here. Hey friends, thanks so much for being here. Hey Halika. Rover and Nest are both on the April Literacy Guide. Thank you, Alika. That's perfect. I know Library Lion is one of Katie's favorites too. She might chime in. My kids are really loving this book this week. I have read this book a lot of times, and it is actually a little bit of a longer book. So if your kids have some good stamina for listening to the story. But this is a really cute book about how a lion walks into a library one day, and he just kind of makes his home there, and they kind of fall in love with him, and the librarian and the helper in the library decide that he can stay, and so he does all sorts of jobs in the library, and ends up not following one of the rules because he tries to help Miss Merriweather is her name, and ends up leaving the library, and everybody is devastated. It has a really, really sweet moral lesson at the end of the story. I love books like this. And my 3-year-old especially is super into this book right now. And it's just really cute, has really engaging pictures and language, and he really likes when the lion does the roaring. So add this to your list if you have not checked this one out before. So actually, sneak peek, if you are signed up for Literacy Camp this summer, this book is actually a part of one of our sessions this summer. So you can check that out too on our website if you're interested. So those are my 5 books this week that I was going to share that we're loving. I probably will be a little bit faster next time. Sorry, I tried to keep it quick and easy. So if you wrote those down, add those to your list, or I will add them to the comments below so that you can have quick links if you want to add those to your Amazon cart, or put them in your library checkout. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I hope it will continue to be helpful for your families moving forward. Of course, let us know if you have any questions in the comments. Yes, Katie said she loves that library lion. She loves the library wall. Yes, thank you. Jen, this is actually Pottery Barn, but I have literally the exact matching one in my son's room that I found at the Goodwill for like, well, I should say my mother found it at the Goodwill for me because she finds a really good bargain. Um, and we spray painted it white and it was like $5. So you can find these lots of places, but this one is Pottery Barn and I love how it faces out and it's so easy for the kids to see books that they want to read. So, all right, well, thanks for joining, friends, and we will see you next week on Tuesday. And let us know if you have any questions. Okay, happy reading.